Hi guys, welcome back to Wi-Fi Money. Always be trading. I do apologize for the hiatus. I had a big move from Bangkok, Thailand, back to Chicago, Illinois, here in the States. But that is no excuse. I should have kept up with my trading videos. It's only bettering myself and giving you guys some insights as well. But we are back with a new prop firm as well. Uh, we decided to go with my funded futures instead of Apex. Apex um, I'm not a big fan of their intra trade, intra pay trailing stop. It's a bit predatory and not realistic. Yeah. So I'll let you guys dive into that a bit deeper if you like. But my funded futures overall is a great prop firm. I highly do recommend. And yeah, I traded the Dow today, and I'll dive into exactly why I did so. First, I'm going to remove these markings and we're looking at our daily chart here. As you see, we made all-time highs back in between like November and December, and then come January, February, we slightly tapped into all-time highs, but ultimately rejected, making a significant high and broke down. And now we're here in July. We almost broke all-time highs. We didn't quite get there, and over the past few days, we've been slowly breaking down with lower lows and lower highs. And if you continue to break down to our 4 hour here, looks like a much more beautiful, aligned downtrend. As you see, we had our high here, retested it, broke down. We had our lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and we just made a new lower low. And looking at this further, I'll show you how I marked up the chart. Going back to our 1 day, this is our bullish 1 day fair value gap. There's also another bullish 1 day fair value gap right here that price has been trading between the last few days. Going down to the 4 hours so you can see it a bit more clear. This was the lower 1 day fair value gap and the upper 1 day fair value gap. And as you see here, if you're looking at a bullish trend, you'd like for price to respect the 1 day fair value gap and not trade through it. And as you see earlier, or I think this was last week, it respected that the lower end of the fair value gap and went back up for a retest. But now we've broken down. We broke that 1 day fair value gap. It did go back up, just normal price action, made that lower high, and continued to violate the 1 day fair value gap. And what I've noted here also within this 4 hour chart is a 4 hour fair value gap, but this one is bearish. I mark my bullish fair value gaps with like the green outline and my bearish ones with a red outline. And ultimately, we would like to see price respect this 4 hour fair value gap if we are bearish, which I was. And as you see here, tapped into that 4 hour fair value gap. I actually did do this fib, but look, it went right. Ooh, price enter the golden zone of that fair value gap. And per ICT rules, that's something we look for in a key entry, but I did not enter there. I'll show you what I saw. Breaking down further to the 1 hour, beautiful price action. This is a order block in which I was looking for price to respect this order block before I started looking for an entry, in which it did respect that order block and started to break down a bit further. I'm going to go to the 15 minute. This is ultimately where I made my decision based on this 15-minute chart. Once again, it respected. Initially, I was looking for price to go to this order block. I thought it was going to take out people that might have had stops there. I was looking to enter here, but then price started to break down, and all of the indices started to break down a bit. So, I mean, you gotta be flexible in trading. You can't have an idea and be married to that idea. You got to be a bit flexible here, and I still stay within my bias of a bearish trend. And I was looking for price to hit our 12 a.m. open. Now back to where we were. We had our 15-minute. Let's see where we opened. This was our opening candle. It shot up. It shot back down. Price continued to break down and violated this order block, in which I absolutely love to see. And at that point, I placed a limit order right here. I'd like to see price go back and tap this order block. Um, I had a limit order set right there in which it tapped into here. And as you see, price did break down ultimately and go to my TP, which was at that 12 a.m. open. But I'll show you further confluences that I had. So I had my limit order here. Price broke down, started to return. I got a little FOMO almost because I thought it barely missed my limit order and broke down. But ultimately, price came back. And looking at the 1 minute here, another confluence that I had was this 1 minute chart. Although I didn't trade based off of it, this is just confirmed my decision making and where I had my limit order. There was a small, tiny gap that you see here. And looking at the Dow that I've been studying, price loves to return to these small gaps and continue the trend afterwards. And these are more so like voids. It's not the same thing as a fair value gap. It's a clear gap between the 1 minute to the next. It's like a void more so than a gap, I would say. And I just want to show you another area in which you did the same earlier today. A huge void here. It filled that void, continue on about its business. So the Dow loves to do that for all the gaps. Another one, small one there, filled it, kept going. It does that for everything. Another gap here, price came back, almost filled it, but it came to it. And then it kept going there. So that was just another confluence. But as you see, as soon as I got tapped in, a minute later, price shot down. Then it slowly started to come back up, but I was totally fine with that because the slow price action was most likely just trying to fill this areas that price went through pretty fast. In which, after it did that, came back to the 1 minute order block in which we entered upon. Then it within 2 minutes, right to TP to the 12 a.m. open. I mean, ultimately, it broke down to almost two times what I had. I didn't want to get greedy though, um, because I mean, just based off my trading strategy, we aim for 12 a.m. opens. That's an area of importance. ICT likes to say price comes first. No, I'm sorry, time comes first, and then price. So based on the time, 12 a.m. That was my target. We could have made more, but price hadn't traded here in some time. I mean, it could have, but most likely we trade based on probabilities, not what we want to happen, what's more likely to happen. And price returning to that 12 a.m. was more likely to happen. So I didn't get greedy, took my 1 and 2. We risked about 490 and we made 986 on this trade.